So, children, you are foolish for trying to resist my takeover. Imagine a school in chaos. No more teachers. No more homework. Only pure chaos. Besides, it's impossible for you fifth graders to be knighted by the end of the year in social studies. If you don't join me, you'll just be crushed in the end.
Not while I'm around, Dark Knight. He's so cranky. Welcome to Social Studies in a Snap with me, Mr. Brainstead. Last time in Social Studies with a Snap, we learned from Squanto that the Sioux American Indians would show bravery by touching but not killing their enemy. They called this counting coup, and it gave me the courage to poke the Dark Knight right in the eye. However, at your time in history, the Dark Knight is already brainwashing and corrupting students into not doing their homework. You should see the number he's done on Bobby. It's only a matter of time until his army of dark squires grows. In the time period I come from, he's just banned students from learning in the library. All those good books are going to go to waste, and rumors are swirling around the school that lunch recess might be next. Now, more than ever, we need to take action. Stand up and rise against the Dark Knight by mastering your standards of social studies. To help you master these standards, I will travel back in time with the help of my time travel lanyard. Time travel lanyard, take me back to the fall of an empire, back in 1521 in central Mexico, which used to be controlled by the Aztecs. That is, until our guest from history, Hernando Cortes, Spanish explorer, came in and conquered and overthrew the Aztecs. He then claimed that land and wealth for his native country of Spain. So future Knights of Social Studies, please join me in welcoming our very special guest, Hernando Cortes. Mr. Cortes, don't take this the wrong way, but are all of you explorers crazy? What would possess you to go on these dangerous voyages?
Hola, Mr. Brainstead. We were not too crazy. We had good reasons for what we did. To serve God and His Majesty the King. To give light to those who were in darkness by spreading our religion. And to grow rich, as all men desire to do. Courageous explorers and conquistadors, such as myself, were usually after one or more of the 3 G's. Gold, God, or glory. Gold, either from conquering natives, or trading for exotic goods with Asia to bring back and sell in Europe. God, to spread our religion, and glory to become famous for all of my discoveries.
What did you call yourself? A conquistador?
Yes, conquistadors came mostly from the country of Spain, and were interested in gaining wealth and glory for themselves and their families. Men who were sent to serve the Spanish Empire as governors were also interested in gaining glory for themselves through the increase of wealth. They were, to some degree, also interested in spreading the Catholic faith, which they deemed to be the only true faith. Thus, the conquest of the New World was fueled by God, gold, and glory. The conquistadors would take their small army to the New World, conquer the natives with the blessing of the crown, and then demand annual payments known as encomiendas from those they had defeated and enslaved. In fact, I even told the native group I conquered, they called themselves the Aztecs, that my companions and I suffer from a disease of the heart, which could only be cured with gold. Our lack of concern for native populations came partly from the belief that natives were pagans, or in other words, they were unbelievers in the one true Catholic God, and that made them unworthy to hold the riches, the vast riches, that they possessed.
In the New World, we could become masters of our own destinies. We conquistadors and our men would greet the natives with kind words, though most, if not all, of the natives had no idea what they were saying. After we read the Requerimiento, which was a written declaration of sovereignty and war, read by us Spanish military forces to assert our sovereignty over the Americas, then the Spanish conquistadors took what they wanted and destroyed who they wanted. It would be similar to aliens invading from outer space, landing on Earth, and telling the natives in their own language that they must submit to their rule and their religion or creed, and then beating, shooting, killing, and enslaving them when they don't follow their orders.
Yikes! I've met aliens in the future, and they're really scary. So, which countries were involved in this age of exploration anyway?
New players, such as England, France, Spain, and Portugal stepped forward. These nations competed with one another for both land and power. Portugal was especially involved in trade and exploration because of Prince Henry the Navigator and a school that he set up for sailors. He fueled the Age of Discovery and was eventually rewarded when one of his explorers, Vasco da Gama, led the first fleet of ships around Africa to India to find the first water route to India. Eventually, though, Spain became the world power as their conquistadors, or conquerors, claimed lands that are today in the United States, Mexico, and South America. Later, England, France, and the Dutch joined in on the exploration, searching for wealth and for a passage for trading to Asia.
I keep hearing about that water route to Asia. What was so special about that place anyway?
Muy bien, Mr. Brainstead. You are exactly right. Many explorers did search for a water route to get to Asia because the land route was so long and dangerous. Asia had many valuable goods to trade for, and the merchants could become very wealthy selling luxury goods from Asia, such as their spices and silk. Since we didn't have refrigerators to keep our food fresh, Asian spices are valuable because it makes our not-so-fresh food still taste pretty good. Some of the spices can even preserve some of our food. That's why so many people searched for the Northwest Passage, or in other words, a water route through North America that can get to Asia. Even in the 1800s, one of the missions that Thomas Jefferson gave to Lewis and Clark was to search for the Northwest Passage. So even way in the future from where I'm from, even way in the 1800s, people were still trying to find that water route through North America that didn't really exist.
Crazy. So, what were some of the major discoveries during this age?
Vasco da Gama made one of the most important discoveries during this age of exploration. He was Portuguese, and he was the first explorer to find and chart a route to Asia by sailing. He sailed south around Africa to reach the riches and valuable trading available in Asia. Then there was that Christopher Columbus fellow. Bah, but he was such a fool. He was correct in believing that he could reach Asia by sailing west. But he missed the boat, so to speak, since North and South America blocked his route to Asia. To the day he died, he thought he had reached the East Indies when he was truly in and around the Caribbean. And then there's that Francisco Pizarro. He's such a copycat. But they say that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. He was also a Spanish conquistador, just like me, but he traveled into South America to conquer the Incan Empire and claim that land for Spain.
And me, I was cunning and bold in my takeover of Tenochtitlan. I conquered the Aztec Empire through my wit, the Native American allies I was able to recruit, my superior weaponry, and I ended up claiming the territory of central Mexico for Spain and many riches for myself.
I see. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy campaign, fighting against the Aztecs, to help these future knights of social studies master their standards. Now, future knights, it's up to you. Master the standards so that we can fight back against the Dark Knight. Until next time, get it, got it, good. Adios.